What's going on, people? It's Mr. Dore back again. We have another podcast. I hope everyone's fit and well. We finally bloody won at last. We won at last. People, get in the conversation now on how you feel about Forest's win against Leeds today. So we can ask these two bellends how we're feeling today. Please hit like button, subscribe if you know. A shout out to my sponsors as well, to Alan Haulage and Service. They are proudly sponsor my Alan Haulage business based in Nottinghamshire, spans globally as well. And they say they are sponsoring my channel for the whole season as well, people. So shout out to Alan Haulage. Right, let's get the guests in, man. They've been talking. I'm backstage before we start, man. We won, people. So who should we start with? We'll start with the legend himself. No, you're going last, Dave. You're going last, Ozzy. Let's start with Molo. How you feeling, Molo?
Very, very happy, very relieved. And you could feel the relief when that penalty went in. The relief in the stadium was massive, wasn't it? It's been a long time coming. Obviously, we've won in the, the Europa at home. But last time we won, I had a suntan. The garden needed mowing every week. It was unbelievable. And now it's freezing. There's fireworks has gone, and absolute relief initially. I'm so happy. And even though the table doesn't look great, at least we're back in touch. What do you think, Aussie Dave?
Aussie Dave. Oh, here we go.
It's just who we are, mate. It's just who we are, just celebrating. Goodness me, that I just think what I've been worried about Nottingham Forest the last couple of weeks is just a vibes check. And so when you look at some of the other teams, like you look at the energy around Sunderland, watching them play yesterday and the equaliser that may manage to nab, that had very Nottingham Forest feels from a season, 2 seasons ago. And so I worry for us that we haven't had that. And I think today's win is certainly a step in the right direction. And a whole bunch of nice things certainly happened at the ground. It was certainly eye-watering to see, Stephen? It was went through that harrowing ordeal last week.
Yes,
that was like credit to him. I think that's also going to galvanise and bring the club together at the same time. So terrific. Just loved it. Loved every minute of it. So let's get into it, Ben.
On that, mate, can I just say, I know Steve, and he did all that stuff at half time and got some pictures. He hasn't got hardly any of his own pictures because he was too busy and he's left-handed and can't use his left-handed. So if anyone has got good pictures, just send them to you, Ben, and I'll pass them on to him. He wants more memories, and I've sent a load that Gemma did and 1 or 2 others that, like you say, deserves all the plaudits.
Yeah, people, like I said, if you got any pictures, send it to my Instagram or my Facebook. I'll send it straight to Molo, and Molo can pass them over to Steve as well. People, but like I said, he absolutely legend. The incredible thing he did on that tragic thing happened, and but yeah, shout out to Steve and all the money that raised as well. Well deserved as well. So shout out to Stephen and his family as well. Right, people, like I said, we are going to talk about the game. And if there's any questions that you want to put in the comments for Molo or Aussie Dave to ask, please do. Like I said, I'm trying to get you lot involved as well. But before we do, let's go for the chat because there's people just flying in with messages as well. With Thomas, Ben, my man Max, my man, how are you doing? What a day. Brilliant gift from Sangari. That we are going to touch on Sangari as well. Lucky we haven't got Des on the show. Hi, Ben, Colin, hope you're well. People, if you want to be like Colin and be a member as well, just like Justin as well, he's a member to my channel. Please be a member as well. So, in fact, shout out to Justin and Colin. Kieran, he's been a member to my channel for 46
Oh, we love Kieran, Ben.
Kieran.
We love Kieran.
Legend,
we love Kieran.
People like we be like Kieran, be a member for 46 months. These 2 are members as well. So shout out to these 2 as well for being a member.
I'm actually going to become a member twice, Ben, because I'm switching my YouTube account over.
Can you hurry up about it? Can you hurry up about it as well? It will be nice. It will be nice. As well, make sure everyone follows Molo's channel, Tricky Talks, as well. That's in the title as well.
It's not mine.
Well, you're part of it, man. You're part of it. So you are part of it. So everyone follow Tricky Talks. I've been on there. Aussie Dave been on there. So if you want to listen to me and Aussie Dave, go and listen.
Yeah, but that was in sad times, Ben. So you only want to listen to it moving forward from now. It's not listen to. Don't listen to any of that stuff where I said Ange was going to be good because that happened.
This is my point. If you want to hear the down bits, listen to David. If you listen to me, go listen to it now. But like I said, make sure everyone listens to Talks. They got good people on it, like Marlow, Kate, Simon, and Chelsea as well. Fantastic people. If you can, follow them. Right, let's talk about who's going first. People in the chat as well. Any questions for these two lads about today's game? Get involved as well, man. Right, Marlow, who's going first? Marlow, David.
Go on, then. Well, I was just going to pick up on kind of going to the end of the game almost. The point Justin's made, which is spot on, isn't it? The subs made the difference. Because my synopsis of the game is we started quite well. It looked good. The keeper made some saves. Then they got that goal, which is a sucker punch. But credit to their guy to fight back. We got back in it. And then it went a bit stale, didn't it, for a while? Not stale, but it was very scrappy, which suited them. Dyche made the changes, and the changes completely turned the game. And we can talk about individuals later. Justin spot on, great second half changes. I think it's important, though, in a modern football to accept just because someone plays well coming on against tired legs doesn't necessarily mean, I'm not saying that, they shouldn't, but they've got to start. They've got to start. We have this a lot with Forest, don't we? Sometimes the sub does well. They've got to start. They start and they don't set the world alight. I think young Hutchinson came on and made the difference without a doubt. And maybe while he's getting his sea legs at Forest, that's what he needs to be doing more and more of. And then his time will come, like Dyche said. So I think Justin spot on, fella.
2 assists, Mollo, for Amari Hutchinson. Remember that when Morgan Gibbs-White debuted for us and he came off the bench and you just had that wow moment. And I've talked about that before. You just sit there and you think, yeah, he's good. I've been waiting for Amari Hutchinson to do that. And sure, the pass that he got from Murillo was just absolutely, it was one of the all-time great passes, just quite frankly. And so I wish you'd have brought it down faster, but I also think, that's what you want from your crafty winger with a bit of pace, a bit of confidence, just run at him. And that left back, he would have been absolutely spewing when Amari Hutchinson came on. And look, the penalty as well. So I think, back to the point of the man of the match, I'm not sure we win as comfortably if Amari Hutchinson doesn't come on the way that he does. And so how could you argue that he's not the man of the match despite only playing 30 minutes?
Yeah, it's a valid point that could be raised later on. My point to add to that is credit to the guys who played out there, obviously Dominguez, who ran. I know he's a different type of player, but that left back was already a bit knackered, wasn't he? And then he's got fresh legs coming on, a lad with a point to prove and fair play. Credit to Dyche's man management. He apparently spoke to him yesterday, didn't he? He said in his interview. And he's come on and he's proved a point, shown what he could potentially do for us going forward. And I'm really, really pleased because I wasn't 100% sure whether he was the right signing when we signed him. But arguably, that was the best 30 minutes wing play we've seen all season from any of our new wingers, that's for sure.
Ben, what's the reaction to Amari Hutchinson from the fans now after? Like, is he starting to get it? Is it the appreciation? Is it there? Is he part of the gang yet?
Don't answer it or don't make answer it. I think I'm Hutchinson, right? Like I said, we know he's not at much game time. Like he's not in the Europa League squad. And has he got a point to prove? I think he has. But at the same time, I think he needs to play more. Like he come on, second half, and he did prove a point. Like he made the goal, made the penalty. Is it time for him to start games now? That's the big question now, because these next set of games, Liverpool away. Do you think he's ready for Liverpool away? I think he is. I think he is, because he's proved a point. And the wingers that
he's ready, Ben. He's ready to be an absolute key impact player off the bench behind Callum Hudson-Odoi. And I think I chose still our best winger on his day. Chose still our best winger. And I thought Dan Ndoye also looked a lot better and livelier today as well, albeit against weaker opposition. He looked better. He's not looked great, Ben.
He faded at the end door. He faded at the end door, but he had a really good game up to probably 75 minutes. Yeah, I think you always want to clip this, because I honestly think a year from now we're going to be saying, "Oh my God, I hope we don't lose him." Do you remember those days when we were a bit unsure about him? Because he's 2-footed, he's got pace, he's got a lovely pass on him. yes, the strength thing we keep seeing, especially towards the end of the game, he can lose possession where it doesn't look like he should. I'm totally with you on this, Dave. I think we've got a real player there. And going back to the thing, I know you follow your rugby, Aussie Dave, but I think more and more football is becoming about those finishers as well, isn't it? Like they're talking rugby rather than, I know you use the word impact players, but it's no longer, and hasn't been for some time, an 11-man game. If you've got a good enough squad, yes, pick your best 11 for each game. And like when we get to it, Liverpool away is a very different animal anyway, isn't it? And albeit they looked garbage today. So I'm with you 100% there, Dave. At this point in time, however, if he keeps churning out performances like that, then he's going to have to start at some point.
People in chat, like I said, if you have any questions, we're going to ask David Mollo, please do. And please do hit the like button if you can. It's nice to help. I want to talk about, we are conceding, but then straight away, we're coming back like we did against Man U, and now we did it again. Do you think that's? I think that, like I say, it's a positive. I know we didn't do it with we didn't do it with Nuno as much, but isn't it positive to see like 1-0 down and they're like, yes, we can still come back, and like I say, like today, scoring 2 goals. Sangari's goal. That's the thing I want to talk about. We concede. Sangari comes score straight away. Isn't that a good thing though? Now, Aussie Day, just like yes, we can see.
How many times have we seen Forest concede a goal first and then lose? It's basically just all she wrote is what it's been. And if let's just put it out in the chat. If someone could tell us the last time we came back from 1-0 down, I can't remember.
Well, didn't lose. Man United. We didn't win.
Yeah.
We were 1-0 down.
It's about win. When last time we conceded and then we won?
Yeah, Villa.
So having said that, we were all over them until that goal went in. And it was a blunder by Savona, which I'm not convinced he's our solution at right back long term, that's for sure. And so, look, it was nice that we got back at them, but we'd had a whole bunch of shots and we're clearly on top of them. And then it was just a nice finish by Sangare with following some nice lead-up play by your man, Ben Dore.
No, listen, I'm not hating on Dan Dore. I'm just saying he needs to go to the gym more. He needs to go to the gym.
It's to go to the gym more.
No, but he's weak. No, but he is though. People in the chat, and it's like, I'm not trying to.
Does Ndoye need to go to the?
No.
He does. He needs to go to the. It's lightweight. People in the chat. Do you think Dan Dore needs to go to the gym? He does. He needs to visit the gym.
We're going to see him doing the squats and the leg press in the Forest training videos next week. He's going to be hitting it hard, and then.
Can I just add to that, Dore? What you got to think about? It's more the way he plays. Someone like Callum Hudson-Odoi. Callum Hudson-Odoi looks after the ball, and once he's at his feet, I jokingly call him a modern-day John Roberts, and he shuffles down the wing, and you can't get the ball off him, etc., etc. And you can do great things when he's up there. Last season, Alanga, would you say Alanga needs to go to the gym more, looking at his build and stuff? No, but he lost the ball cheaply a lot because he puts the ball at risk in the way he plays. And that's a little bit what Ndoye is like, isn't it? He puts the ball at risk sometimes because of the way he plays. It's not that he hasn't got the strength. If he wanted to, if you want to arm wrestle with it, whatever, he'd smash it. It's more about getting used to how you play in the Premier League to protect the ball sometimes. And when he carried out a defence towards the end, and he's obviously knackered as well, and that split second was he lost the ball and it looked weak. And I am defending him, I suppose, because I genuinely think there's a proper footballer there. Because sadly, for whatever reason, I'm showing my age now, you just don't seem to have that many two-footed footballers anymore. For some weird reason, they're all one-footed. Whereas he's a genuine two. That left foot strike that nearly went through the keeper's legs when he dropped it. There's power on that, wasn't there? So it's more about the way he plays. It's not about going to the gym more. It's about getting used to the physicality of the Premier League. And he's getting better bit on bit. Yeah,
I'm not. But he's like sometimes he gets bars the ball too easy. That's all. And I shouted at the ground when he got bars. Visit the gym. There's a gym in West Bridgford. Go to the gym. That's all. Right. I'm just going for there's some comments on there. Big up to the panel. Big up to the panel. There's no doubt. Or Hutchinson needs more game time. He's got a point to prove after overlooked by the previous management and exactly what he wants. To shout out to Nate Smith as well. What do you think about
Nate Smith? That's Joe Marler.
Who? It looks like Aussie Dave. Is that you? Isn't that you, Aussie Dave? Shout out
It's a
to
very
Dave.
handsome. It's a very handsome picture that he's got up there.
Nate Smith, you're a wrestler. You look like a wrestler, man. Bloody hell.
Yeah, it looks
Nate
like.
Smith. No, wait. Nate, I bet Nate Smith. I bet he's at gym. Nate Smith. Don't visit.
So when Ndoye writes back to your channel and says, "I challenge you, Ben, for one of your people from your show to take on Ndoye in an arm wrestle, we're going to put forward Nate, are we?"
Yeah,
Definitely.
Definitely. Sorry, I was going for big win. SG and Leeds really poor side. We are going to talk about Leeds later on the show as well. Ian says Ndoye has potential. If you can make Langer top player, we can definitely make Ndoye more. That's what I'm trying to say. When Langer, when he first come, it wasn't that go to player. Last season we started poor, but then slowly getting better. That's what I want Dan Ndoye. That's my point. I'm trying to prove like he can be a good player.
I always thought Elanga had football IQ problems, and he left with football IQ problems. But he was very good. Certainly when Elanga gets the ball, there's a bit of electricity about him, whereas you don't have that from our man Ndoye just yet.
Dan Ndoye needs to be more. Dan Ndoye needs to be more aggressive when natural courses get on him. That's my only point. Thank you, Mike. Mike, thank you very much. You made me blush. I think if your gym can't help Dan Ndoye, that's all I'm saying. Kieran said Ndoye is a stronger player. He doesn't need to go to the gym, and how he uses the body. Got to give him these players time. I'm not trying to write him off, Kieran. I'm not trying to write him off at all.
Oh, I can't believe Ben Dore said that Ndoye.
He used to go to the gym.
But I'm just saying, Hutchin is a true Langer replacement. Ndoye is Hutchin replacement. No,
ooh, that's a great take.
That's a great take.
That's fair.
No, go on. Is that true? Is that true? Are you Dave?
I think Hutchinson has more pace than Ndoye does, so I think that's probably right and a fair take. We're looking for Hutchinson to deliver us at a Langer level of potential. And you'd have to think, looking back at last year and comparing it to this year, it's hard to argue that Elanga was our key guy.
I don't know. Right, let's change subject. Let's talk about Sangare. Right. Let's talk about Sangare because
do we have to?
We have to. We have. I have criticised him a lot on this show, but I thought today, even if he did get yellow carded, the goal. But I thought his whole performance. I thought it was good.
Right, I'm gonna be brutal. That sucker punch goal all started from a rubbish hook up in the air, one of his clearances that go nowhere apart from over his head and behind him along, which put Anderson underneath the ball where that other Geordie guy that they've got had a run at him to head it. Longstaff headed it. It was 3 errors compounded. Not that you can blame Anderson getting beat in the air because someone had the run on him. And yes, at that point, without a doubt, Savona should have got something on it or cleared it or blocked it or whatever. But it came from yet another stupid little clearance. Now, he made up for it because he took his goal beautifully. He did some good stuff that a £30 million midfielder should be able to do. I've been really brutal, but he had a good 60 minutes, but he did that thing he always does, didn't he? Just after half time, where he just suddenly dropped off. That one when he looked like he was running in mud as well. That was awful. When he running in treacle, chasing back. I think it was Longstaff he was chasing back. Longstaff he was chasing back. And what was embarrassing for me as a footballer, not that I'm a footballer, but as a footballer trying to foul the midfield guy to stop the break on the halfway line. Such a crap foul. The guy just carried on and ignored him. And that's always been I've been praying. Let's be brutal. I've said for 2 years, I've tried to defend him. I've said, look, there's a player in there. There's this, there's that, there's the other. And he just constantly let us down. And then, as you know, the West Ham game, when he chickened out of a 50-50, when he hadn't even been booked, that was me done. Because you can't have a centre midfielder that chickens out of tackles. Okay? That's just how it is. And I watched it back on telly to make sure my eyes weren't deceiving me. And he did. He chickened out of a 50-50. You've got to go piling in. And now, since then, he hasn't played a lot. He's had the odd good game. Where he's relatively effective when he's got the right players around him is when he's got lots and lots of time and space, like a Michelin backing off with 5, 6, 7 centre halves that they had by the end of it. Even a Sturm Graz, I don't think he did anything particularly outstanding, but he also didn't do anything wrong. To be, but against Sturm Graz, we couldn't open them up. I was really hoping with the time and space he had, he would have one of those passes. And today, he didn't do an awful lot wrong, but what he did do wrong, he's one of those unlucky players as well. His mistake led to the goal as well. It was a compounding of 3 mistakes, like it often is. But he made up for it a few minutes later with a very, very calm finish. And for 10 minutes after his goal, he looked like the confidence was there, didn't he?
I think, spot on. I think he's spot on that. Yeah.
And you got Des sitting on my shoulder almost here, and he's dead right. Off the ball, he's horrendous. He's like, split seconds might as well be 10 seconds in professional football, even in Sunday League football. And he arrives a split second too late to every kind of situation. He's a bit like the rugby parlance, if you like. He's the flanker that arrives after the ball's been gone out of the ruck and piles into the ruck. He always arrives a split second too late because his reading of the game doesn't seem to be quite there. And I keep thinking, it'll come with games, and it just still hasn't. But he was average today. I've seen some people say man of the match, and I'm just like,
he was not average. He was good.
Wait. Let me see the comments, because there's comments regarding Sangare before I get you today. Before time to approve when we made a sub, Sangare doesn't set the temp. Usually gets subbed off after an hour. Dennis Red says, I don't care for his entire body language. He looks sluggish and slow. He always has an error in defending. Still don't rate Sangare.
Probably true
as well. This is when the Dore loses the ball, transition to far in, refuses to take on his man when he gets opportunity. He's quality, I'm sure, but right now he's not right for a start of us. Chelsea, how you doing, Chelsea? My lovely, I hope you're well, my friend. David, do you want to respond to that? Like, people in the comments as well, respond to what Marlo's saying. Yes, like, you know what? He is spot on. I do agree. He is spot on with when he scored the goal. It's really got into the game.
10 really strong minutes.
Yeah, 10 really strong minutes. But David, you got respond to that?
Well, a couple of parts. Firstly, when he did score, he still doesn't feel that part of the game. So, you notice when some players score, everyone gets around them and jumps on them and they're really happy for them. Now, that didn't seem to happen. I think the games where...
It did. I don't know if it didn't show on telly. They did.
It didn't show on telly.
Yeah, honestly, they did. They mobbed him completely. It took forever to get the kickoff, in fact. They mobbed him for so long.
Oh, in that case, he's in with the vibe. So, look,
probably shock.
He's stronger against the weaker opposition. And where we're at, I think he's actually going to be more helpful than perhaps where we wanted to go. He's a £30 million rated midfielder. He's got some class in him and some pass in him that our deeper midfielders, and the one that I'm talking about, can't seem to pull off. He's got a more creative pass in them and can do some things. Now, it was not the best yellow card for him to get, but the one where he was chasing down Longstaff, he actually could have easily fouled him and got sent off. But he should have fouled him. But that would have been 2 yellows. That would have been 2 yellows. So
he hadn't been booked at that point, had he?
Oh, there was.
He got booked, and then I think when Longstaff was running, he could have fouled him.
He tried to foul him.
Everyone in Trenton was shouting, "Don't foul him!" Because me and Craig said he's going to get subbed off in the 60th minute, but it was earlier
which was right, which is what he should get subbed off on. He's nice and physical. Look, is he a world beater? No. Is he going to carry us to the Champions League and be our absolutely key player? Probably not, but he's better than Yates.
I knew that was Ben, I'll take this one. Ben, I'll take this one.
One minute. Miss Vic, Sangare is a good player. I can vouch for Yates' ability, but learn other options. I have no problem with him starting. Right, David, let me take this on Mollo. So it's 1-1. Sangare comes off. Ryan Yates comes on. What happened?
Amarillo passed the ball to Hutchinson. No. Hutchinson set up more than his white.
What happened? Did Ryan Yates? I think Ryan Yates come on and played all right. He did his job. You can't. This is the problem with you. You know what?
He was all right.
No.
It was certainly time. It was certainly Ryan Yates' time. What I do like about the squad rotation, we have an understanding of the role that he can play, and I thought he was competent enough without being brilliant. But you can't say Ryan Yates was out and out the reason why we scored 2 goals in the last 25 minutes.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Right. I'm gonna do a thing, right? And this is how I see it. And I've got somebody I know describes Callum Hudson-Odoi and Ryan Yates as the football IQ test. People who can't see what they give have a low football IQ, because forget Callum, because we know all about that. One thing, you can say whatever you like about individual elements of the game and what he's good at and what he's not as good at. What happens is when Ryan Yates is on that pitch, because of what he does, because of what he can bring onto the pitch, because of all the things he can do, because his passing is just red shirt to red shirt, nice and simple, the players around him play better. Fact. That's
because he's a weaker player and they know they have to improve.
And well, all I'm going to say to you on that then, Dave, is
he's not a starting player, Mollo. He's not a starting player.
Our player is injured.
No.
And what I'd say.
Wait. Sorry.
He's right, because it should be Louise and Anderson, but you just. Be a stato. There's a big enough sample now to look at results with Yates in the team, results without Yates in the team, just in the Premier League, and it's incredible. And the reason for that is he's the guy everyone wants playing with him. You talk to the guys down at the training ground, they know that he's got their backs. He might not make a big tackle, he might not foul anyone, he might not do this people thing that people always go on about, oh, he's really good at this. He might just be in that position, plugging a gap so that line isn't open. And I know it's a football IQ thing, but anyone who doesn't appreciate what Yates gives, I'm not knocking Sangare for this. The things he does well, Sangare is terrible at. And to call Sangare a physical player, being good at tripping people up isn't physicality. That's like tripping somebody up in rugby. It's easy. It's like being good at tackles. Smashing someone in a tackle is very different, isn't it? And he's not a physical player at all. He's technically very good on the ball when he's got time and space, but he's off the pace too much of a game for me in the Premier League. The Premier League does not suit Sangare, and people who know more about football than I do have said similar. I don't know. Say what you want. Go on, Dave. Come back with your.
Wait. Ding.
Molo's just said that Sangare needs to get into the gym as well. I can't believe it.
No, I haven't, because being a hard player is psychological. David Prutton was about 10 stone wet through, but he went in for tackles, and you knew he was going in for tackles. Stuart Pearce was only 5'10", and all right, he had thighs the size of an elephant, and that was from the gym, I guess. But if he tackled, you knew you were tackling, and being a hard player is a state of mind. I'm sick of hearing, oh, he's big, he's a... Tell me how many his percentage ahead of Sangare wins. I'm not meaning to go on Sangare. I'm just giving an example. Sangare is a specimen.
Well, Sangare's been very injured, Molo. So let me just respond on a few of these points. As Ben takes a sip of his cup of tea. Look, I think what we want to have with the Nottingham Forest players, you want to have horses for courses and players that can play different roles. And I'm not saying that Yates shouldn't be in our team. And I'm not saying that Yates shouldn't be the club captain. I'm just saying that he's not typically a starting player in all matches. We saw post-Ange getting sacked how good Yates was in terms of coming out and talking to the press. I was calling for it today. I said, it's probably time for Ryan Yates time, because you aren't wrong. If you go and watch Nottingham Forest play live, what you really get an appreciation for is Yates' work off the ball. However, when you watch Ryan Yates, you will notice he's not that good creatively. He doesn't like to play the ball forward as much, and you notice that his other players don't often give him the ball in the creative situations because they'll opt for other players. And that's the shortcomings of Ryan Yates. But do we like having him in the team? Absolutely, we do. And he is the club captain, but Sangare is just a little bit better. And neither of them need to get to the gym.
At certain aspects of the game. There's a couple of comments here that are interesting, and some agree and some disagree.
Let me go.
This Love 138 was that's just a silly one, because didn't he just play for Feyenoord in the slowest league in the world, which I can imagine he would dominate? Brian Roy didn't even rate him, and he's from Holland and watched him play.
Right, that is a fact. Brian Roy didn't rate him.
That's scary. He said there's no way he's the answer in the midfield. That scared me, Because obviously Brian Roy, he generally has achieved more than most Forest players of the current thing. If you drop down a bit, though, there's an interesting one about the Premier League doesn't follow the same rules, okay?
This
if
one,
you tackle,
yeah.
I'm going to just refute that to an extent. Of course, there's more bookings and more sending offs, and you can't tackle in certain ways. And without a doubt, some of Stuart Pearce's tackles would have ruined red cards back in the day. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to tackle, Yates, he put in a really good tackle today. And if you tackle properly and you hit someone hard and fair and go through the ball, the man, the lot, nobody is getting sent off or yellow carded. Dangling your long size 25 feet in and winning a poke of a ball wins you the ball just the same. But if you get the chance in the centre midfield to nail your opponent fairly, you have to take it. I don't care. There was a couple of, I forget exactly, I think it might have been Longstaff in the middle of the park, absolutely nailed Anderson at one point. It was a beautiful tackle. I was like, oh, and the referee actually gave the free kick to them because I think Anderson kind of followed through slightly. I'll have to watch that one back. I haven't seen it back yet. But tackling isn't gone out of the game. The only problem is if you get it wrong, you get a yellow card straight away.
Yeah.
And my point is, it's not about how big you are. It's not about how strong. Des Walker was 11 stone throughout his career. Could he tackle? God, yeah. When he needed to, if he hadn't already beaten his man for pace. So it's a moot point, and it sounds like I'm going in on Sangare. And yes, I love Ryan Yates, and if I have a choice, I know who I'd pick. But Dave does make a very valid point. It can be horses for courses. And who am I to...
Here's another one for you, Molo. Yeah. If they were to hold down one position, Yates and Sangare together...
They should never play together, by the way.
That's probably right. You would say that Sangare starts and Yates finishes the game.
Right. Let me do a poll. Let me do a poll.
The horses for courses is true, because who do I want to start against Liverpool's midfield? I knew last week against Man United, as soon as Louise went off injured and Yates came on, I knew he was going to totally and utterly disrupt that midfield that they've got of those two very, very good players in Casemiro and Fernandes, and so he did. And it allowed Anderson.
Well, Yates was very good against Bruno when he played. He marked him out of the game. And so given that Yates is not going to have the international duty that Sangare is going to have, I think you actually might be tempted to start Yates against Liverpool.
The only thing is, McAllister, who's a really good player, he's sick of the sight of Ryan Yates, and he's going to be up for
that. That's my point. What did Ryan Yates do? What did McAllister do when Ryan Yates played against them?
Absolutely he got taken off because he was so bad.
Nothing. That's what he does. But can we change subject now? Because it's been a great subject. It's been a great debate on this. People, if you have enjoyed this debate about Sangare,
it's the same thing that comes up every single time. There's just a few consistent points. And I've got a term. I think you should call me the Yater, the Yates hater.
You are the hater. I'm
Yater, but I like it. But I just don't like him as much as you, Ben.
No, because it works hard. That's all. The problem we had with Sangare, he doesn't. I think they're both the same, but Ryan Yates has got more heart than Sangare. And when he got the yellow card, I thought, okay, he's gonna get subbed off anyway now. And now, what Molly said about he nearly got that tackle on Longstaff, I thought, oh God, he's definitely got to go off. But I thought after the goal, he's getting better and better and better. And
here's a point. It's just come to someone, because I can see a couple of things that have been said, but there is a very valid point. Give or take, we usually have 40 to 50% of possession, sometimes a bit more. Yeah. Without the ball, we need players to do the right things, and I know Deitch is very strong on that, and that's where Yates is far superior. With the ball at his feet, I don't dispute that Sangare's got more in his locker. But then you go back to Man United last week and you look at Yatesy kept the ball absolutely superbly throughout the game. And that wasn't just simple sideways passes all the time or backwards passes, which is still important. There were times in that midfield melee where he had a little one-touch pass straight into somebody's feet, 5-6 yards away to get it out of that situation. And I think it was undoubtedly his strongest game that he's had in a Forest shirt for a good while since he made McAllister cry last season, probably.
Yeah, best game. I think that was Ryan Yates' best ever game. He made McAllister walk off the pitch like a bitch.
Yeah.
He did.
Steady.
No, he did. He did.
Yeah.
Man marked him. McAllister cried like a little girl, baby. Like Roy
World Cup winner.
McAllister needs to train at the gym as well, Ben.
Have you seen the comment from Nick Students? Nick Student, he makes a really good point. I forgot to mention that he hasn't shown enough yet of his pace that I meant to say he's actually one of the quickest players at the training ground. And somebody said Amari Hutchinson has got incredibly quick feet. He's not as fast as you think. He talked to Ipswich fans. He's very, very good. I've got no problem with whatsoever. I'm really pleased. But I think, like Nick Student, I think it says Student.
Yeah. YouTube's messed around with the names. I don't like it. That's why you can't really see it as much. So
yeah, I think he's right about Dore. I think a year from now we're going to be really glad he's our player and talk about. I hope we can.
I want him to. No. I want him down the door.
Oh no, I know. I know you were.
Yeah, I want him to. But I'm just saying, like.
He did fade at the end of the game, though, definitely.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think.
Yeah, he played a lot of minutes.
He perhaps didn't remember the first half.
He played a lot of
first goal.
All right, let's move off into.
Let's move on. Like before Kate says, "Sango, come and go." Yeah, this will talk about for years. Big baby Dore kill. Yeah, he's a baby man, McAllister, and he will be a baby again in 2 weeks' time. Because I'm calling it right now.
You know, Ben. Can I just say, Dave Asprey was going to comment, but he's been taking phone calls from Ben Dore to get on the Dave Asprey training program because we know how good a trainer that Dave is, and so Dore's just looking for some inspo. He's looking for some inspo.
Dave Asprey. I had a great time in Austria with him, and if you watch it for Dave, this won't ever happen. But yeah, shout out to Dave. Right, before you do, people, next subject, hit the like button and subscribe if you know. And is there anything that you want to talk about?
Get us to talk about something else other than the aforementioned play. Could we talk about Savona, Ben, and how good Savona was at clearing the ball for the first goal?
Can I say something about Savona? Right, we all know Ola Einar, when he comes back, he's going to replace him. But I personally feel Savona, he made a mistake first off, but I think he's young. But I think he's getting better and better and better the more he plays. What do any of you two agree? Disagree on it? Marlo, you take this.
I think technically he's really good. I think he's 6'4", so he should be a bit stronger in the air, but that'll probably come. I believe, and I've tried to do more research from sort of what was Juventus background. I believe he's actually that classic centre half who's been moved out to right back as a youngster for now. And I've seen times where he looks reasonably quick, but he got absolutely rinsed by that guy on the left today, didn't he? Who was rapid, to be fair, really rapid. But when he got rinsed a couple of times, he then, after that, made sure he showed him the outside, but made sure he was there to win that ball when it needed winning. He was really at fault for the goal. I keep watching that and thinking, was he unaware that there was a player there ready to nick the ball? Because it was really odd that he didn't do anything. But
he just didn't go strong enough into that challenge to clear the ball out from that moment, did he?
He's a proper Italian. Do you know what I mean? It's a stereotype. Italians love defending and doing the dark arts. We saw a little bit of that in Graz a couple of times.
Yeah.
And it was almost like perhaps a switch off moment, a lack of, and you're dead right there. He didn't go in, and it was his ball to win, not the other guys to nick. And it was really odd. I think you're right, Dore. If as soon as he's fully match fit, I know he locks down that right hand side, a bit like Yates in the midfield, makes players around him play better. Once he's playing right back, he helps out that right midfielder, right side. Whatever, that right-hand side is very, very different with Ola Einar there. He's an exceptional player, so that's no disgrace to lose your place to him. But yeah, he's a player with a lot of potential, but he's learning on the job, and I'm not sure that was the plan originally. So I'm not going to say I'm not writing him off anyway. I think he's going to be a really good player, but I feel like he's probably getting a lot more game time than was expected at this point. So it's hard to be too harsh because he did play quite well for the rest of the game. He seems to be. He's not bad on the attacking front, and in that Misfit Love 138 has said exactly that. Yep. He wasn't physical enough in that loose ball moment that led to the goal, and I can't understand. I'm convinced because Italians love the physicality, don't they? And I'm convinced he was oblivious to
but he's prone to these sort of mistakes, Molo. What about the one where a couple of weeks ago where the ball just went over his head and he misread the header? Like, I'd be disappointed if I was right back and made that mistake. Now, the problem we've got with Savona is that Savona going forward, like back to the point of, when the ball breaks for Nico Williams and he's storming down the left-hand side, you sit there thinking, something can happen here. Yeah. When Savona is cranking down the right-hand side, I just am not sure that that's really going to do anything for us. So, maybe technically and skillfully he needs to pick up on that, but he should be, given the type of player he has and the height that he has. Yeah, but he's not going to just become a more skillful player in the next couple of years. I can't see that happening. So I don't think Savona is destined to be a superstar, but he is the fourth choice fullback.
Yeah,
and I don't think they're expecting to play. But would you rather have Harry Toffolo as a fullback or Savona if you had to win next week's game against Liverpool?
Savona.
I love. You reckon he's better?
Yeah.
I love Harry Toffolo.
Not on potential, on right now performance.
I love Harry Toffolo. But he wasn't a Premier League player. He had a Premier League.
Neither Savona.
Brilliant. Yeah,
no, right. David,
if you'd have been sat here 3 years ago, you'd have said the same thing about Nico Williams, because in the first half of the season for us, he looked very.
Respond to that, David. Respond to that.
Williams. No, I always said Nico Williams was good.
Yeah.
You liar!
I always. I always said.
Wait. People, I want people in the chat. 3 years ago, what game was it? Was it Blackpool away, Molo? Did you go to that game when we lost 4-1?
Yeah.
People in the comments, people said Nico Williams was rubbish and he's never going to play for Forest again. 3 years now, right now, Nico Williams is one of our best players in a Forest shirt.
I think he's our best player.
Yeah, he's our most consistent.
He's actually our best player.
So
he's always in the conversation for man of the match every single game. He hasn't had one bad game.
All right, we can clip this up. I'm going to go on the record, and I reckon Savona doesn't come good for Nottingham Forest.
Please, someone clip there.
Clip it up. This. I don't think he comes good.
He will.
If he becomes injured, God forbid, I pray he doesn't. If Olaina becomes injury prone, don't forget, we're not going to see him now until after the AFCON. If Olaina becomes injury prone and Savona is our answer, then if he develops...
What do you mean becomes? Isn't Olaina already injury prone?
No, he's only had a couple since he's been at Forest. But if he...
We're not going to see Olaina until after the year.
Makes anything like the progress that we saw, because Nico Williams was always a neat and tidy footballer when we signed him. There's no doubt about that. And he had a bit of pace, okay? But he kept getting ripped apart, didn't he? And then he got dropped. Interestingly, and I said this at Graz, he had a couple of games coming off the bench to close down games as a right midfielder. So you kind of get a different perspective, don't you, anyway, in playing that position in the Premier League compared to before. Then one of Steve Cooper's last games, we went away to Wolves and he played right back for the first time in ages, and he had an absolute stormer. He was absolutely brilliant. And ironically, crossed it, I think, for Harry Toffolo to score a goal that day. For me, it's early days, but I think age comes into it. You're not the finished article at 21 after 20-odd games or whatever it is he's played in total. He's got a lot of learning to do, a lot of developing. That mistake he made probably doesn't happen 2 years from now, and he's not even close. Look at Nico. The way his intensity of his defending, he must be the worst person to play against as a winger in the league right now. That Connor Bradley was getting plaudits for handling a really stroppy Real Madrid player who clearly didn't want to be there, on that night in Liverpool. And then today he's got ripped apart, hasn't he?
Well, yeah.
The only time I've seen Nico get ripped apart since he got back in the side after his first season.
Well, Nico's got a really good read on it, where he can pick the times to attack and the times to also defend, and has got quite a good scramble on him. So that makes him quite a nice, complete fullback. And given that he can play, but he can also play right and left, and also the international experience for him playing for a more weaker international team also gets him. He's got to play some pretty top wingers. and he's had a few years in the Premier League now, and he's also just changing from number 7 to number 3. He's accepted that he's not a right winger or a right midfield or whatever he might have wanted to be. He's clearly a fullback. Yeah, he's clearly the first on the team sheet. You're not going to get any disagreement from me on that point. All right, let's talk about. Can we talk about Murillo's pass now, Ben?
No.
Not yet. Put Ian 102's point up.
Who?
The guy that said Savona marked Cunha out of the game last week.
Oh, yeah. This one is, yeah.
See, that's the thing. Young players don't always have consistency. He was superb, wasn't he, last week? He also, let's not forget, against Bournemouth the week before, he marked what's his face out of the game.
I'm not backpedaling. I'm not backpedaling. I just want to move the show on faster.
Backpedaling. Just be honest, man. Just get over it. You backpedaling.
You are on Savona is going to be like that guy, like one of those fullbacks from the first season of the Premier League. His name you don't remember because you can't remember the name of that Brazilian guy that scored the really good goal. Just like we're not going to remember the name of the Italian guy in about 6 years' time.
Renan Lodi, the best left back we had.
It was Renan Lodi. There we go.
Other than that,
Wait. Do you remember Leicester away? You lot when we lost 4-0 and Lodi was absolutely crap. And then afterwards, he started. I remember Des probably on him.
Des hated him.
Des hated him. And then afterwards, he was one of the best left backs. Well, so Mr. Manu, I can't wait to clip this. 3 years from now, I'm going to say, David, you absolutely scumbag. Leave the guy, leave the telly right back alone and all that. No, right. Before we do, let's talk about. You want to talk about Murillo. I want to talk about Taiwo Awoniyi. Because people in the chat as well get involved. Everyone can slag him off as much as they want. He's not scoring blah blah blah.
He's back.
I feel when he gets his match fitness back, really when he gets really properly there, I feel he's gonna be a good player, like he did under Steve Cooper at the back of the first season. I think it was the first season. He was. What Molly? What do you think? People in the chat, what do you think about Taiwo? Do you think he could come good under Dyche? Marlo, take this.
I don't know if he'll score the same number of goals because of the way we play, but he is definitely back, and not one centre-back in the Premier League wants to play against him. He came on and he bullied their centre-halves. He did the same at Bournemouth in a game we were awful in as well. He stood out that day. I gave him man of the match that day. Absolutely, I think he's back, and I think we've now got options, obviously. Let's pray Chris Wood's back fairly soon, but Taiwo coming on for Jesus, and Jesus played well, but we've no longer got to put 100 minutes into our centre forward week in, week out like we were doing with Chris Wood last season. We got away with it, didn't we, most of the season? He didn't miss many games. And I thought Taiwo is a superb option. His pace is obviously still there, his power. One thing I can say, Dore, and then I'll pass over to Aussie Dave. Taiwo definitely does not need to go to the gym. Over to you, Dore.
Well, the good thing of what happens with Taiwo, and so there are moments where you definitely want Taiwo as an option. So when we go up 3-1 and you can see that the team's going to drop back a little bit, which there's no striker you'd rather want than Taiwo Awoniyi. Yeah. Charge it down at these centre backs and basically having to mark 4 players as the rest of the Forest team goes deeper. He is just a physical presence and is just painful for the other team. He is just a right pain in their ass. And so you can just see he's got a bit of the smile back. And, funnily enough, if Morgan Gibbs-White does not head that ball, Taiwo is actually going to kick that in. And the Trent end would have gone absolutely nuts if Taiwo had scored a goal. So is Taiwo back? I don't think we've got peak Taiwo that got us the goal against Arsenal, but I don't think we're selling Taiwo in January because he doesn't have a role for us to play. I think he's the price that we would get for the price that we would get for Taiwo now isn't going to match the value that we would extract from him. There's no way that they're selling Taiwo Awoniyi. Let's not forget he was our record signing at one point. He's a £20 million striker 4 years ago. He might be around for some time to come, and it wouldn't surprise me if he stayed for a couple of years, and should probably go check how many goals off Chris Wood he is, because he might one day nab that record.
I think when he gets fully fit, he'll be Dyche's one striker, because he is a Dyche player. I feel, he needs to get match fit, and just need a goal. Just needs that one goal.
Don't you think though as well? When we're under a bit of pressure, they clear. It's not really a pass. We know that. You clear the ball, and he turns a 75-25 ball into a 50-50. And Justin's nailed it. And he holds the ball up so well.
Yeah, there was a brilliant one in today's game, Molo, where he held it up and just controlled it. But you know what we also love about Taiwo, he's just as likely to score with his shin or his knee as he is with his foot, and that's the sort of thing. But here's the other thing about Taiwo: he's got good vibes, and he's our Taiwo.
Yeah.
So you know, he is genuinely a Forest player, and you know, in 20 years' time, people will be talking about Chris Wood and Taiwo, and it's like, oh, I remember when we had Taiwo. So yeah, we love Taiwo. So it's good to see him certainly having a role to play. And boy, wouldn't he have been useful in the Europa squad?
Oh man, what was that?
That's the only thing I'm gutted with. We're not even in the Europeans.
I might be wrong here because they're so complicated, the rules. But wouldn't he have counted as homegrown because the amount of one of the categories of homegrown?
Not yet.
Because of how many years he spent at Liverpool in their system.
No, because it's I answered that question a long time ago when we do because he started with Liverpool when he was
because he was playing abroad. Okay,
yeah, then he went abroad, didn't he?
And one thing that upsets me a bit, as much as I love what Nuno did, and if I ever saw him in a pub, he certainly wouldn't be buying his own beer. It does irk me a bit that his last big up yours to the club was to leave Hutchinson out of the European squad when he's a British homegrown player. And he's another one we could have done with on Thursday night, isn't he? So, and Andy would have got.
Yeah, but they had to leave some players out, Molo. He just blew it.
Yeah, but mate, he didn't have to leave out an English player. He could have left out one of the kids in his place because he's an English brought up and.
Yeah, but
I think the kids were able to be in it anyway. The kids were in the.
You've got to name a certain number. There's kids in there. I don't follow the youth team, admittedly. But there's kids I've never heard of had to be named. He could also be named. There's no
way they would have made that mistake.
No, there's a list. I think, like I said, was it 23 players, 24 players? I think it was.
Yeah.
But with the youngsters, I think I saw the list on Wednesday night, and there's players like who's 16 are in that team as well. I was like, what the? There's so many young. I've seen you list, Marlo. There's so many young players who are in that list.
I had a look at it, and I won't say anything controversial. But there's one person on there that I saw. I was like, I remember him when he was 13 years old. Yeah, so it's quite interesting.
So many players, man. Some players. Right, let's be positive because we won the bloody game. I can't believe we won the game. And
you guys are so negative, Ben. They're just hating on all these players.
You started this. It was you that started. Yeah, this one. He's started the big negative one. Let's be positive, right? We've got this win, and like I said, we had to win this game, David. Because if
didn't we have to win this game? It was just absolutely critical for how many points off we are. And just I think going into it, if we'd have dropped this game, I'm not sure we could have escaped relegation. It was that must win. And so now just the energy around us, it brings Leeds back into the fray. But if they'd have won
Newcastle there as well.
No, they're not
going to stay there, though, are they?
No, I'm not saying. But like I said, we look at this. Last season,
we're in a relegation fight, Ben.
I'm not.
So we've just got to be.
We never know. What I'm trying to say is, last season, us and Newcastle were playing fantastic football. They lost today to Brentford, a team that everyone thought are going to be a bottom three under Keith Andrews. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're going to go down.
No, I don't think it's because of Keith Andrews. I think more because they seem to sell their crown jewels again. But like Brentford always do, they seem to replace them with equal players we've either never heard of or they reach a certain level. So I know where you're coming from, Ben, but we've got to accept for now we're in a relegation fight.
100%.
And like Aussie Dave said, today was crucial. But talking after the game, we were saying, if you look back over the last 10 years, how many times Sean Dyche has been in a position where he's had a 6-pointer, he's got to win it, and he nearly always does. Do you know what I mean? He pulls the result out he needs at that point. Now, that's not me saying he's a relegation fighting manager. That's just circumstances made that. I think we're already seeing quite clearly he could take us a lot further than people gave him credit for. Just simple things he says, even in his interviews about, I keep telling him to put the ball in the box a bit more often. And what's happened? Yatesy puts the ball in the box last week. We score. Great ball in from
And Dore did the same thing.
Yeah,
Hutchinson did the same thing, just got it into dangerous areas.
Yeah, and it's so true. And it's a simple game.
Yeah.
Overcomplicated sometimes. And I get nuances.
Here's another point for us, fellas, is that Forest are also dealing with the consequences of having the players play in the Europa League, which is probably going to cost us at least 5 spots. So you've got players that are more tired, and so that's going to also drag us into, we're just a club that's also inexperienced with it. Like you see, it's not coincidence that Sunderland are doing well when they've come up. They've been a good team for a long time in different patches, and so they just know how to be a Premier League team better, certainly, than Forest does at being a team that plays on Thursdays and then Sundays. So we've just got to batten down the hatchets a little bit and just keep getting those 1 points and 3-point wins, and jagging something off Liverpool would certainly be good. So,
cool. Yeah.
Look, I'm certainly more positive. I was very worried going into today's game. However, if you offered me 17th position right now and start next season now, would you accept 17th position? And
a night out in Istanbul, picking up a trophy? Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Goodness me. That's what I'll see you there, Molo.
Yeah.
I'm coming. That's when you. Listen, when am I going to see you next? Istanbul.
Amazing. But for me, I agree with Dave. Other than the Sunderland point, you look at Sunderland's side, and they've done a bit of what we did and signed almost a whole new team. But where you are right, they've signed players like Xhaka, who really has been there, done it, and he's an incredibly good player. A goalkeeper I've never heard of who looks peak Peter Shilton. So their recruitment has been very, very good. And they've spent similar amounts to what we did in our first season, but bought slightly less players, more for the first team. And then they've still got that core of people that took them up. But they've attacked it very, very smartly, and it's come off. They've obviously got a very good manager. But, and this is really brutal, in the early part of this season, I watched 2 or 3 of their games, including against us, and they should have lost every one. They were very, very lucky in terms of the opposition's finishing was garbage, including ours that day. But they found a way to win, and so you can't knock it. And it's one ground I've never been to, so I'm looking forward to going up there when the time comes.
I've not been to London before as well, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Before we end up, people, like I said, we always have a man of match. So in the chat, if you can, who's your man of match for today's game and the team rating? Please do hit the like button as well. People subscribe if you know. Who we start with? Who's your man of match today? Aussie Dave. Who was your man of match today?
I just think if you're going to talk about impact and players who managed to change the game, I don't think you can go past Hutchinson, which is amazing for a substitute to come on and turn the match. But creating 2 goals in a match where 4 goals was the number of goals total scored. Good luck to him. Sometimes the man of the match award isn't necessarily for the best player, but it's also your impact and achievement and based on what your opportunity was presented. And I think he deserves the plaudits. Hutchinson for me.
I think I agree. 100% agree. Comes on, made a big difference as well. Taiwan made a difference as well with his physical as well. He doesn't need to go to the gym. Talbot don't. So, but yeah, for me, Hutchinson for me was man of the match. Mano, who was yours?
I'm going to say, whilst I agree with the sentiments that you're both saying about the impact and everything else, I'm going to go with Murillo because I think his pass changed the game. I think if you don't keep the back door shut, then he doesn't get the chance to make that impact. And Leeds, I know Leeds are crap, but they didn't trouble us hardly at all, did they? And that was down to our back 4 was superb. I think Milenkovic got the sponsors man of the match, which I could see. For me, I thought Murillo was the standout. As always, Nico gets a mention. Anderson was not quite where he has been, but he was still superb and the best midfielder on the pitch. And I think one thing we've glossed over and perhaps should have said more about, we've said the subs made the impact, etc., etc. Who planned it? Who made those subs? Sean Dyche has to take massive credit for the time.
I thought today's subs were obvious, though, Molo.
It doesn't matter. How many times have obvious subs not taken place?
Well, frequently. However, after his last subs performance in the last match, he was probably due to have one that was pretty good.
Are you talking about the midweek game?
I think we need more defenders. I don't think the 7's enough. We need to get 8 on. One moment we didn't touch on, which I quite enjoyed and liked, was when we got the penalty. It was always, I thought it always had to be Elliot Anderson's penalty as the best player and strongest player in our team, and he just. Nico could have maybe.
You know, arguing about it. He was taking a penalty.
You could clearly see they were arguing about it.
All of them.
It's literally 2 minutes after Morgan had gone off as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember thinking, oh, thank goodness Morgan went off. I remember watching an Australian international and seeing Mark Viduka and some of the other Australian players literally arguing about who was going to take the free kick or the penalty. And I'm just sitting there going, how could you have not had this stuff worked out in advance? So, and that was at the regular minute. But yeah, and Dore clearly wanted to kick the penalty.
But Anderson, to be fair.
No, Anderson was the one.
Yeah,
you want your best player. He had the strongest kick. He was the one for mine.
Do you know what I always think? It's good that your centre forward takes it because they need the goals, etc., etc. And if Chris Wood's there, he probably takes it. I think in this day and age, with so much analysis, I genuinely think it's got to a point where it's not a bad thing to have a different penalty taker if they're competent. Because one thing that Forest have been good at in the last 20-odd years is penalty shootouts, isn't it? Very often won.
Yeah.
And
Nico Williams' penalties have been sensational in most of the shootouts, haven't they?
I wanted Nico to take it, Molo. I'm not going to lie.
Here's what I know. None of us wanted Taiwo to kick it, though, did we?
And listen, everyone in the Trent, don't give it Taiwo.
Yeah.
Remember,
Taiwo is never going to.
Remember Newcastle?
Taiwo is never going to. Oh, goodness.
But do you know
it's
what?
Still coming in.
Once it was Elliot taking it,
I knew that one was scoring.
No doubt that he was going to score, and I think
I knew. I had a feeling Gibbs White was missing. I had a feeling Gibbs White was missing his one. Can I also just say, building on your point, the Murillo performance today is also coincides with his return to fitness. And I think at the start of the season, he was a little bit underdone and had a few little niggles, and I think he seems to have gotten past those now, and certainly not playing on Thursday night for very long certainly would have helped him. So. He makes an enormous difference to the team, Murillo. His scramble and ability in some of the passes that he can find. So good to see. How good are the Forest team though? I just love all of them. They're just so good.
To win. It's just good to win a Premier League.
They're just so good.
Don't you think, Dave, as much as the subs were a bit weird on Thursday night, everything that Sean Dyche did from about the 55th, 60th minute had an eye on today. And the fact we've won today makes all of that worth it.
4 points out of 2. 4 points out of 6 as well. Man U and Leeds game. So you've got to praise that.
And the thing is, as well, I know ifs, ands, pots and pans and all that. If that penalty goes in on Thursday and the rest of the game plays out in the same way as a drab load of...
Oh, we could have won 3-0.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if it plays out in a drab 1-0 win with that penalty, nobody's complaining on the back of today, are they, as well? No. Not that anyone's massively complaining, because I think we all knew.
I reckon I'm still probably complaining about Savona, but sure.
Don't get him started, Molo. Don't get him started.
Hey, he looked like Franz Carr on that right wing.
Right. It's been a great show. Molo, thank you very much as well for coming on. Make sure everyone follows Tricky Talks on the podcast. Like I said, they do great shows as well. Ozzy Day, thank you again for taking time. Where are you? You're in New York, aren't you?
I'm in New York, yeah. So the times line up. I tell you what, being in New York for watching Nottingham Forest matches is just brilliant. So anyone in Brooklyn, get down to Rounders in Williamsburg as the pub. We've got a bunch of Forest fans that are getting together in Rounders now, which is good fun. But there's a few of them around.
Why don't you do a vlog if Forest fans there? Just do a vlog.
It's only 4 or 5 of us. When we get together in Sydney, I'll do a vlog.
That other one was great. That one.
It also helped that we won 7-1 or whatever it was.
It was as well. It was.
And there were 2 Brighton fans in the background.
Those 2 Brighton guys. They were great.
Right, it's been a great show. People, make sure my vlog is out in 10 minutes. So if you can, please, my vlog, go and watch the vlog. Great vlog as well. So if you can.
You get to hear Dore go. You get to hear the girly sounds of Dore cheering on.
Little screamy. Molo, when's your Tricky Talks podcast next?
We're recording tomorrow, and then the experts will have it on probably. I think they usually got about drive time in the morning. I think. So
Okay,
it'd be
so
very,
make
lots
sure
of
everyone
what's going on.
follows Tricky Talks. Shout out to my sponsors as well, Alan Vollage and Far Wide. If you want to get any work with them, please do. Ozzy, Dave, you do any podcast with your rugby?
No, it's off season in the rugby league. I got some other things coming, Ben. So I'll hit our lovely friends up
as well.
for following and watching us. So
As well.
got a new channel coming.
Before we preview people, we have got Liverpool next game. And I tell you right now, and people can clip this, we are going to beat them again. We're going to beat them again.
Like buses, you wait 50 years for one, 55 years, and two come along in the 2 years. I'd love
they
that.
always lose after international break all the time. That's why I'm confident I am. We'll beat them.
I'm not confident. I'm not that confident because.
Did you watch them today? Did you watch them against Man City? That's rubbish.
Yeah, but Man City are quite good. Don't get me wrong. I feel like we've got a chance of getting something there. But if we beat them 2 years on the bounce, I will come and kiss you on the forehead live on the somewhere because I will be so happy.
No,
so
you're
happy.
You do that to your wife, not to me. You do that to your wife, not to me. Okay. Right, people. It's been a great show. If you disagree with everything that these two said, put it in the comment section as well, people.
Just last comment, Ben. Misfit Love 138. Australia's going to win 4-0.
Oh,
I'm not a cricket fan. I'm not a cricket fan.
I love cricket. I just don't love the Ashes at the moment.
I'm not a cricket fan, so I've got a clue what is going on or whatever's happening. So people,
England's playing Australia, Ben.
In Australia, and we always lose there.
I don't know. I don't.
Except for that one time.
I only watch if the Ashes or England are about to win the Ashes. That's it. That's it. But right, it's been a great show, people. Peace and love, everyone. I'll see you soon in the next video. Up the Forest.